Last night, the unthinkable happened. The United States officially entered the war between Israel and Iran. Multiple US bombers took off, targeting Iranian territory. Among the targets, 3 of Iran's most critical nuclear facilities, now reportedly heavily damaged. Today, we'll break down what exactly happened during the US strike, which weapons were used, why this intervention was crucial for Israel, and what might happen next. After days of political pressure, the US finally joined the Israeli effort to cripple Iran's nuclear program. Israel had been urging this move for days, insisting that only the United States possessed the firepower necessary to truly destroy Iran's deeply buried nuclear infrastructure. It's no surprise, then, that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reacted with praise, stating, "Trump's bold decision to target Iran's nuclear facilities with the mighty and righteous force of the United States will change history." History will remember that President Trump acted to deny the most dangerous regime in the world, the most dangerous weapons in the world. But why exactly was US involvement so vital for Israel? To understand that, we first need to examine Iran's nuclear facilities. The 3 largest sites are Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordow. While Israel had already inflicted heavy damage on Natanz and Isfahan in recent days, Fordow remained largely untouched, and for good reason. The Fordow facility is buried 80 to 90 meters underground, protected by layers of rock and reinforced concrete. Around 3,000 centrifuges operated here, capable of enriching up to 30 kilograms of uranium to 60% purity every single month. The problem: Israel doesn't have the kind of weapons needed to reach such depths. According to military analysts, Fordow is simply too deep and too well fortified for Israel's bunker-busting arsenal. Yes, Israel does possess some bunker-busting bombs, like those used last September in Beirut to target Hezbollah's underground command center, reportedly killing leader Hassan Nasrallah. But Fordow is a whole different level. Enter the United States. The US is the only country in the world with a bomb powerful enough to penetrate Fordow's defenses, the GBU-57. This 13-ton bomb, known as the Massive Ordnance Penetrator, can burrow up to 60 meters into the ground before exploding. It relies purely on kinetic force to punch through thick concrete, making it ideal for destroying fortified underground targets. But there's a catch. Only one aircraft in the world can carry and drop this bomb, the American B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. Each B-2 can carry 2 GBU-57s and remains nearly undetectable during flight. As the saying goes, if you can see the Freedom Dorito, you're not the target. During the recent strikes, the US deployed 7 B-2 bombers, dropping a total of 14 GBU-57s on Iranian nuclear targets, most of them aimed directly at Fordow. Multiple bombs had to be dropped on the exact same point to reach the deepest centrifuges. And while the full extent of the damage is still being assessed, experts agree the destruction is likely massive. Centrifuges used for uranium enrichment are delicate systems, far from bomb-resistant. And given the number of GBU bombs used, it's almost certain that even the deepest parts of Fordow were hit. Some speculated that Iran may have evacuated its enriched uranium before the strikes. But US Secretary of State Marco Rubio dismissed those claims, stating, "We believe a significant portion of Iran's 60% enriched uranium stockpile was still in Isfahan during the strikes. They couldn't move anything without us seeing it, and if they tried, Israel would have struck the convoys." Indeed, Israeli jets continue to fly daily missions over Iran, targeting convoys and suspected missile shipments. The idea that dozens of trucks quietly slipped away from Fordow and Isfahan seems highly unlikely. It's safe to say Iran's nuclear program has suffered a catastrophic setback, and rebuilding won't be easy. Still, lasting damage to Tehran's ambitions would require political change. If the current regime survives this campaign, it's likely they'll try to rebuild their nuclear program again in the future. That's why Israel's Operation Rising Lion isn't just about destroying facilities. It's targeting Iran's missile industry and political power structure as well. We've linked a separate video covering the operation's geopolitical implications and how this could even impact Putin's war in Ukraine. But for now, the war continues, and this may not be the last US airstrike we witness. Shortly after the US raids, Iran responded with missile attacks on Israel and threatened to strike American bases in Iraq, Jordan, and Kuwait. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian warned French President Macron that the Americans must answer for their aggression. The implication: potential retaliation. So far, Iran has held back from directly attacking US forces. But if that changes, the mullahs may trigger a brutal and overwhelming US response. Trump, Rubio, and other American leaders have made it clear: any direct attack on US troops will be met with force. Meanwhile, Israel is intensifying its air campaign, targeting Iranian missile factories and regime command centers. Reports confirm strikes on IRGC and Basij militia headquarters in Tehran, key institutions that maintain regime control and enforce religious laws. It's clear: Israel is aiming to dismantle the regime's grip and open the door for potential revolution inside Iran. In desperation, Iran has turned to Russia, seeking military support from Vladimir Putin. But given Russia's stretched resources in Ukraine, any meaningful assistance seems unlikely. Another potential move: closing the Strait of Hormuz, a vital choke point for global oil. While around 20% of global oil exports pass through this narrow waterway, Iran is unlikely to hold it closed for long. Any such move would likely prompt swift international retaliation. In short, Iran is running out of options. Its nuclear program has taken a massive hit. Israeli jets operate freely over Iranian skies. Russia can't offer meaningful help, and the mullahs are increasingly cornered. This could truly be the beginning of the end for Iran's 46-year-old theocratic regime. But what do you think? Will Iran be reckless enough to attack US forces? Could they actually attempt to close the Strait of Hormuz? And how many more B-2 bombers will take to the skies before the regime falls? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.